agrees with you because that is their first ban. They are, of course, this time on the first pick side, and that means that they have the luxury of actually banning out actual heroes other than the IO and the Puck.
Yeah, they switch things out a little bit. The Earth Spirit might be the next one. We'll see. Maybe Tusk, maybe Earth Spirit, Tusk. Okay.
I think if you're IG, your Emo plays a great Storm. If they're maybe discussing, you know, if EG banned the Puck again, do we take the Storm with our second pick, for example? Like, I don't know if it's the first overall pick, but it may be something where they just want to make sure Abed is not in his comfort zone.
I wouldn't mind seeing that whatsoever because Emo, like you mentioned, on that Storm Spirit feels much like Abed. Maybe you just snatch it straight
First
up.
pick over.
You first pick it. It's so contested in the series. Do you really want to lose to a Storm Spirit 3 games of the Grand Finals?
If you think you can get it second pick, maybe EG's going to be thinking that. So maybe EG are going to first pick it. It feels like a key hero. Maybe EG is going to value it less, though. A big part of the success we mentioned was the Beastmaster. So maybe without Beastmaster, EG could head a totally different direction.
But they can still go for both Earth Spirit and Storm Spirit, and that's also a proven recipe for success. IG will take up the Phoenix. Little word there. They opened with that the first game of this best-of-5 series, and this was the combination of the Phoenix Mars that they opened with. They did it in the same sense, where they were the ones with first pick, and they prioritized the Phoenix.
And JT's heroes right now are still all in the pool. If you think about it, the Timbersaw, the Mars, all left remaining, so they might get drawn into that idea of getting this good combination with the Phoenix first, something that clearly didn't work out for them so far in the series. Evil Geniuses now, do they pick the... I already like the Storm versus the Phoenix. That's already a nice target that you can jump on easily, eliminate before that egg.
We saw Crit go for the...
Yeah, there it is. Pick Storm Spirit.
I mean, it's kind of the same situation as last game. EG picked it second, but IG only had one hero to respond to it. So it's kind of you're picking it in a very similar spot, and IG adjust their picks. They go for a Nyx Assassin, and we kind of called for this. We want something a bit more active, a bit more playmaking for Kaka, and he gets it here.
And this is premeditated because they insta-picked it. This is something they knew. Okay, Storm's coming, Earth Spirit's coming, Nyx Assassin is the one we want.
Also very flexible, can be a 5, can be a 4. You can put Kaka as well on that Phoenix that he loves to play so much. And Evil Geniuses, meanwhile, they're not flexing things up whatsoever. It's Crit Earth Spirit, it's Abed Storm. You know this, you've seen this before. It works, why change it? And I actually don't mind it at all. I think Nyx Assassin, after suffering that break nerf, he no longer has break on his ultimate Vendetta hit. He's fallen off in my top tier heroes, even versus a Storm Spirit.
A lot of, I feel like the talk I've heard from analysts around Nyx is just like, yeah, this hero as a 4 is like B or C tier even. Like, it just feels weak compared to the Earth Spirits, the Tusks.
Yeah.
But we like that they're changing it up, right? It might not be the best hero of the tournament, has not had a lot of light of day here in Singapore.
Yeah, the other things did not work out for them. My worry for Invictus Gaming is that they might be identifying the wrong problem in their draft, because if I was to change something from the last one, it would probably be Faceless Void, not my position 4. And in the first draft, it would probably be the greed that they had between the Naga and the Morphling on the mid lane, not the position 4 again. However, okay, Lion, we won't see you again. We're going with the Nyx Assassin.
But I think a big problem of like how... I'm sure there was something maybe better than the boys. Is how they got there. They got to that last pick, and there was no good hero left for them. So I think they're just, you know, changing up the order they pick their heroes, not overly prioritizing getting JT his hero in the first phase, and then leaving this core pool very wide open for both teams, really.
Yeah. Troll banned out by Evil Geniuses. Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming with the Jug. And the Timbersaw, again, protecting that egg a little bit. Jug even versus Nyx Assassin is in the lane. If he lanes against him, is pretty solid. You can always spin through the carapace, follow him around.
And EG, banning out the preferred IG carries, Troll, Monkey. And we're going to again see maybe some of these slightly less mainstream carries, just because there are going to be so many bans onto the popular ones. I wouldn't be surprised if EG banned something like the PL, perhaps.
Yeah.
And are we thinking about the Alchemist on Evil Geniuses? It's still in the pool.
Yeah.
A little bit greedier, I should say, with the Storm Spirit, but still a possibility.
And you see Nyx Phoenix. These are not the strongest heroes in the laning stage, so it does feel like Alchemist is not going to get pressured. They like to pick fly these strong laning heroes like the Enchantress, for example. They could very easily
Still in
just
the pool. Yeah.
pick a carry Alchemist that has no obvious counters.
Let's see. With the ban, they can pretty much ban whatever on from the cores. I wouldn't mind if they are picking the Alchemist. I wouldn't mind a Morphling ban too, as that's something that Emo and Fly really love to play. We've seen it fail in the first game, but IG has played it so many times very well.
Yeah.
They could also aim on the offlaner, right?
Yeah, I think the tricky thing with the Alch is that EG are the ones picking first here, so they're going to have to pick it, and IG have plenty of time to respond to it. And then if they don't pick it in this phase, it's probably getting banned.
Maybe Mars ban, right? It's still in the pool, if I'm correct.
Oh,
yeah,
for
it's
here,
still,
yeah.
Yeah, you ban it versus IG. No, PL instead.
They're just targeting Fly. They've just basically saying, these are the heroes you're most comfortable on. We're in a grand finals. You're down 2-0. They forced him to pick a Faceless Void last night. At this point, they're basically like, let's not give him a hero he's winning games on.
When you think about what else they played, I believe there was a Spectre game, there was a Weaver game. Not sure about Spectre if it was them or PSG LGD, but they definitely did play some Weavers. Bloodseeker as well, an option, and put Emo on that win condition. The same thing that EG is doing. I actually think that these teams are very similar in the playstyle. It's just that EG has been constantly outdrafting and outplaying them.
One of the heroes still in the pool that, you know, Ice obviously also having a little bit of a struggle in terms of heroes because he shares a lot of the pool with JT, whose heroes are also banned. But we still have Pango, and we still have Viper that he played as well. But Pango specifically, we saw that be very successful earlier on in this major. Haven't seen it yet this grand finals, though.
I think it might have fallen off a little bit because of the rise of Bloodseeker. If you know that someone is picking a Bloodseeker anyway, do you really want to put yourself in a position that you're a Pango on offlane? It's difficult, but Crit did play it on 4, right? And Ice on offlane.
Yeah, both of it, yeah. They're taking their time again here.
Probably just a Fly here would be my guess. I think you reveal the least by picking Fly's hero. You see what supports you're up against, and yeah, they go for CM.
Good call. Just a good laner overall. Helps out with every single lane with the mana region and instantly into the Lycan.
Ooh.
That was... we didn't even have a full second to see the Void Spirit.
No.
Void Spirit hadn't even appeared from the Void before the Lycan came out.
Taking the spotlight in the game and in the draft as well. Okay, Void Spirit, it's something that we've seen. This could be an Alchemist again for Invictus Gaming. Very dangerous versus the Storm and the Lycan, who are very aggressive early on. Win rate on Radiant, 0%.
Well, I think EG is looking to try and up that a little bit.
It's just the teams who are picking it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
It's probably some EU teams picking it or something.
One hero that's still in the pool that can be played at a lot of positions, Death Prophet. Seeing that kind of little bit of a shift in popularity. Did see it on the banning side this series in both of the games, but always in the later stages of the draft.
I think it's a bit hard to fit in here, though. Like for IG, they need an offlaner if they want to.
It's good versus Lycan in the lane if they put it on 3. But instead, this is even better, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
Not only because you're strong versus Lycan, you also have the root mechanics versus both of the spirits, which can come in handy. Defends your towers a little bit from this early onslaught, but Lycan can be shifted. It can be an offlane.
Well, I think it was always going to be an offlaner for EG. And I think EG is going to be looking for that carry that they can later on build an Accept on Lycan and buy it. Ice is like a Lycan specialist, so I would imagine we're going to see it there. For IG, it's a good underlord pick because I think they can protect it with these bans. Monkey's already banned, and probably see that Ursa banned out as well.
Ursa banned for sure, yeah. Jug was banned way earlier too. Maybe not terribly, not too great versus the heroes that Invictus Gaming have got already, but something that EG definitely have played. They ban out the Bloodseeker.
Oh yeah.
How does that work? You bite the Bloodseeker, he already has movement speed, and then he's a wolf as well. Does he fly through the map?
What are the odds on a Terrorblade still coming out?
I'm not quite sure. Underlord, Phoenix, Void Spirit, all of these heroes can mess him up quite a bit, so it can be a difficult game for him. The Ursa ban, I think, is very probable, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, even though it was an RTZ hero during more of the DPC leagues, and I don't think we've seen it here yet on the main stage, and well, the major for EG, just from other teams.
Correct.
But it's just so good for this game, it feels like. hero that can kill the Supernova, has some built-in status resist against a lot of this disables. You know, the roots can be a little annoying, but it just feels like a perfect hero for EG to round out their draft with.
So just waiting for that RTZ ban.
Yeah, I mean, the carry pull itself is
Okay,
really strong.
this is interesting.
They're so
yeah.
they've seen this EG look where they just don't pick these carries when they have the storm.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just thinking they're going to be going for that tempo hero. We've seen Leshrac, we've seen Bloodseeker, Razor's still in the pool. That's another hero we could see again from EG.
Maybe even the Lycan safe lane. It's maybe not probable, but the way that they're playing recently, would you say that they would be the team that picks Bloodseeker the most few days ago? You wouldn't, right?
True. And when they have Lycan Storm, do you like even if they are looking for a safe lane, do you really want another hero that's going to be greedy like an Ursa who's building Battle Fury or whatnot? It feels like they may be better off going back for that Razor they picked earlier on.
I like the Razor call, actually. It's pretty solid. They already have some ways of dealing with the egg. Lycan can run in, you would have your safe lane carry as well to do that. Maybe even eliminate him before that egg is on. And they ban out the TB themselves.
So let's see, what is Fly going to play? We want to see Fly on something that he can take control over the game with.
Not a Faceless Void.
Not a Faceless Void, ideally.
Yeah.
He has played Ursa, he has played Weaver. He's played everything under the sun. The question is what they prefer most in this draft and what can keep up the tempo with from EG, because it looks like they're going to set a high pace.
Oh, and one hero we haven't mentioned is Alchemist is still in the pool as well. That's another carry.
That's actually very true.
Weaver, Alk, Ursa, and Razor seem to be like the main carries I see left that have at least been getting played and picked here.
Well, they have only 5 seconds left. They won't need it. They'll go for this.
Totally different.
I actually have seen this, and I've been talking about how they're always off meta when they find a hero to play against different carries. This is literally what they did. Same thing in the regionals, in which Lycan was picked against them. Not sure if it was carry on off or offlane, but they picked Sven into it. And then Lycan just doesn't have a game. It's very easy for you to clean up all of his minions.
If I'm correct, this is going to be the third Sven of the tournament. We've only seen Liquid win once and lose once with it.
They definitely like to pick these carries that everyone has left in the trash can like a few months ago.
So true. But like you say, this Lycan doesn't want to lane against Sven or Underlord, really. Like, there's no great lane for
Razor,
it. But there is a great lane for Razor. No matter where Razor goes, whether it's playing into the Sven, into the Underlord, this Razor pick looked, pretty easy to read in some ways, but also just like perfect to round out the EG draft.
Yeah, the teamfight composition from IG's draft is pretty solid. They have the Phoenix, the Underlord, you have ways of protecting the egg, a stun, AoE stun that's coming from your safe lane carry. And this safe lane carry later on in the game does feel like the strongest hero on the map, even versus the Razor. The only question is, do they get to that late game in which Sven just goes out of control before he's just leashed by Razor and everyone else?
Well, and also before I think Abed takes over. His Storm in the mid game, we've seen what can do. It feels like a game where Abed's going to try to come online and then win the game for EG, and IG's going to be sitting back like, all right, Sven, are you ready yet? Because if this does go late, the Sven, he's a beast. Even against the static link, I think Sven can carry this game if they don't get overrun by Abed's Storm.
Well, I am not going to go against Abed's Storm. I have learned from that already, so my prediction goes for the wave EG, although I would be happy to be proven wrong, because going to a fourth game would be great.
I also do really want to see the fourth game. Because of that, I'm going with IG. I also think that they have what it takes actually to win this one. They still have to prove that they're able to take EG though.
I overall like IG's draft better, so I'm going to have to go with IG. I think EG is showing they're the better team. They're playing better Dota, but draft-wise, this Sven pick it ticks the right boxes for me, so.
All right, well, I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm sure a lot of people at home are also very happy to hear that we're going to have a little bit more of a competitive game on our hands compared to what we saw previously. Isn't that right, Lacoste and ODPixel?
You're just putting the words in our mouths, like, isn't that right and everything? I would say that IG, looks like they have the best draft so far in game number 3, but EG is also setting up Razor for a really, really good game. I'm leaning towards EG still. I think Razor should have a really good time. It's also a possibility. I think most likely they're going to run an aggressive tri-lane, leave Ice alone, and that's what has been working for them so well so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got to kind of disagree. I think it is just another outdraft by EG. I don't know how IG is going to be able to lane against this Razor. You know, both side laners, the Underlord or the Sven, whatever the matchup's going to be, they're going to have a bad time. I think they overlook the potential of the Razor coming in as the last 5th pick, and I just feel it's another draft where EG just looks to be coming out ahead.
Well, will we have a 4th game of this best-of-5 grand finals, or will this finally be the time for NA, the time for EG, the time for Arteezy and Abed to win a major? We're going to find out. Odie Pixel Lacoste, take it away.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, this 3rd game now. 2-0 EG up at the moment against IG. Without a doubt, though, Lacoste, this is, I mean, as you said, you actually prefer IGs, but in comparison to last game, it's a million times better from IG.
Oh, for sure. You know, they don't have the Faceless Void. We've seen Liquid had some success with Sven. I think it's a good hero here, you know, having that extra armor, extra, you know, something against Lycan, which should be good, you know, extra movement speed so you can run away from the static link. Also doesn't sound too bad. He's going to be the primary target, you know, for that link. Razor's like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna link you. This is my job throughout the most of the game to just be able to link him. Fly does not have a sentry ward. This is the 2nd time when IG's playing Dire that they've set up observer ward behind the tower. Might get de-warded.
And Abed, yet again, on his Storm Spirit. We've seen it, you know, in the series sort of get pushed further and further up in the draft order. This game picked first. Do you think IG have reacted to Abed Storm enough with their picks, or do you see this as another game where the Storm can have a pretty free time?
They're playing into root mechanic coming out from the Underlord into Nyx Assassin. I think Kaka, you know, he wanted to be the one that has the mana burn, has that stun, easy setup with the Carapace on the Stone Remnant, and yeah, they have much more than what they did before. Also, like Remnant coming out from the Void Spirit also could be a potential setup with the Yule Scepter. So in this particular matchup, you know, Storm Spirit against the Void Spirit, you know what your item build is going to be on Emo.
Arteezy going in onto JT.
One more hit.
One more hit. Is he going to be able to find it?
No, he can't get it anymore. Like the Tango plus the armor coming up from the tier 2 tower and some extra regeneration will keep him alive.
Yeah, instant aggressive move there from EG as soon as they hit the level 2s. Try and get in with the dive. Quite successful with it. Arteezy. He's going to be chased down here by the 2 of them. The Firestorm, is it enough to bring him down? It isn't. He'll get a Tango going. Kaka still continue to chase down. We'll have stun again in a second. If Kaka lands the stun, Arteezy's looking pretty dead, and he'll be able to do so. Kaka getting first blood for IG.
Good start. You know, they decided to go in, try to get that kill. All they needed was like 1 extra hit. Did not manage to do it. Kaka comes back with the first blood, lands another stun, boots of speed, and now this sets up Underlord for a bit of a better, you know, start, because Razor, he will always want to link you in the lane. One of the reasons why they picked him. The slow Crystal Maiden needs 1 mana for a bite.
I'll be able to get it, and this time Arteezy will manage to finish off the kill. Kaka, not quite enough mana for a stun, so couldn't hold back Arteezy from chasing JT down. Mid lane matchup so far, Abed versus Emo. The ledge for Emo at the moment. Very, very close. Top lane, do see Ice struggling to be able to step up and get the CS. It's almost certainly is just going to be a lane where Fly, he's going to have a good time. We're going to get a pretty free farming Sven up here with the backup of Volley.
Yeah, you don't really threaten a kill with Lycan and the Earth Spirit unless you make like a really, really big mistake. You go for some kind of a dive. He should have a really decent time. Earth Spirit trying to make a move on a mid lane, something we've seen before.
Every single time at this moment, Crit, they'll look for the opening, see if they can grab Emo. Abed steps forward with the Vortex back into the Remnant. Is it enough? The Pulse is out, and that will be enough to save him. Emo keeping himself alive against that patented move that Crit always makes around this time.
And he will have a healing cell, which will bring him to pretty much the full HP. And this is what they want to have, you know. Lycan on the top lane, getting some extra XP, because Crit, they can't kill the top lane. So leaving Lycan alone, Sven with 2 points in cleave will push out the lane always. He wants also to be able to farm the side camp potentially, or the small camp, and then like your Lycan will also farm.
See Kaka heading over to join Emo and Ollie in the mid lane. They're bringing the 3 of them in. Abed very low on mana and health at the moment. Crit checking for the rune. Will manage to refill the bottle here for Arbed. As IG will show all three of them now in the mid lane. So the safety is going to be there for EG on the side lanes. As they know that the supports are all centered around just backing up Emo.
And if we look at the bottom lane, Razor with the Quelling Blade, it's no shame. If you need some kind of help, like even if Arteezy's buying it, for all the new players out there, just buy a Quelling Blade. It will help you out, even if you're a range hero.
The mid lane, Arbed. Kaka was able to close in on him. Not quite enough burst, though, between him and Emo. As Arbed bringing plenty of regen out. Salves Clarity's Mango's good to go, as he'll be able to keep himself in the lane. 5-minute bounty runes are coming up. Still just, Fly having a much better time compared to what he was able to find in the lane last game. The setup has been so much better. This time, actually able to hit some creeps here on the Sven.
Oh, yeah. They are not making any stacks so far, and that I've seen Ancients not stack, nothing in the jungle stack. Sven would love to have. So maybe Phoenix eventually, if Sven goes to the jungle a bit earlier, then Phoenix takes over the lane, Sven can just farm. But Sven right now does not need help, especially once he hits that level 6. There's also some kill potential, possibly on Lycan, because he's only level 5.
See mid. Gonna try and punish Emo before he's hit the 6. Another move from Crit, kicks him back into the reach of Arbed. See if he's coming in. Again, just not quite enough to kill off Emo. It's both mids soon to hit the 6. Arbed will do so a little sooner than Emo. See if they're able to maintain control of the runes. Also having the attention of Kaka coming over towards the mid as well. And still Crit, he's going to be the one to grab it. Takes it away. Kaka won't be able to make the move in on this. Of course, with these sort of moments with Kaka coming over towards the mid, it is giving more and more space for Arteezy down bottom to continue to get ahead in this matchup. 30 for 8 against the 15 for 3 of JT. As JT having slightly tougher time than that of Ice on the other half of the map.
Storm Spirit, he got level 6. He's going back to base. Let's see if he decides to make an aggressive move on the bottom lane. Lane is in a good state, he has, but he's moving top. Lycan just hit level 6. Does not like, ideally we would want to have a Necro Book as well, so you can make a move. Crit is already there, level 3, still saving a point, puts another point in Boulder Smash.
Off the mark with initiation and multiple TPs coming in from IG. So they bring him over both Emo and Kaka. Fly. Still seeing if he can start something. He's actually able to find the stun onto Arbed. Arbed out with the zip just in time. Pretty close there. Emo nearly finding the Remnant follow-up.
They kind of split the stack 50-50. This time around, Arteezy going for a Falcon Blade. Last time he played the Razor safe lane, like he was set up for such a good game. Went straight into Boots of Travel, but this hero needs some kind of mana, even though you have Crystal Maiden in your team. Maiden usually does not put more than 1 point in aura anyway, especially early on. You just want to max that Frostbite, especially against like Void Spirit. The root mechanic is super good. So I can understand why he's, getting that a bit of damage, a bit of a tankiness, and some extra mana regen.
I really want to try and catch Arbed out around the mid again. Kaka just sitting on the sidelines, just in case the aggression's there from EG onto Emo. 8-minute runes, he's flying Arbed. They're ready to try and hold for the top one. Remnant's down. Well, she ends up spawning bottom anyway. So again, IG maintaining control of the power runes. Crit. He's going to be able to get himself in. Force Solly to take it, so it won't be saved for Emo.
What a move from Crit. He uses a TP just to secure that the enemy mid laner does not get a refill on the bottle, that he does not get any power rune. Underlord playing very aggressive here.
Already starting to rift out though. Ward up on the cliff around the mid. They know that the movement was being made towards him. JT not hanging around any longer than he needs to. That's Fly. We'll see what sort of build-up he goes for on this Sven. It's going to be the Mask of Madness. See if it variates from what we did see from Mikke when he was bringing out his Sven performances here at the Major.
Yeah, a bit more like status resistance with SNY. He also went for a Blink that game, upgraded it to Swift Blink, I believe, later on. He didn't go for Aghanim Scepter at all.
He didn't. That's mid lane Emo. Quick jump in. Find the setup onto Crit. They've got it.
Radiant's middle tower.
Abed not having any opportunities to get in and help. Emo and Kaka looking pretty strong here in the mid lane. Top tower starting to get pressured a bit by Ice with the Necro books. He's going to be able to force Ollie all the way back in, creating quite the nuisance here for the Phoenix. Trying to do his best with the body blocks to get some more damage in. It's a lot of space given for Ice to continue farming right up by the tower. So having Arbed and Crit in the neighborhood, if any TP's coming from IG to try and hold off this push.
Right now, Sven is just jungling. Having that Mask of Madness, clearing the stacks. They're also going to stack Ancient Creep Camp one more time. While meanwhile on the top lane, Ice, high level. Ollie's a bit under leveled. Like, he's level 3 on Phoenix. He needs the tome.
He's in the mid, Emo. It's been a couple of times now where he's been able to pick up these supports with the moves. We'll see big zip from Arbed, comes across with the
He's out of
ball.
mana.
He turns with a stuff, fly,
But a nice dodge.
Arbed's able to dodge it there. With the illusion rune still low on the mana though, and the whole of IG chasing him down. The route there from JT as they bring down the storm. Now they'll turn over towards RTZ, fly. Get the control on this. The setup's there from Kaka. RTZ looking to be in a whole world of trouble as the stuns are out. IG bring the fight around the mid lane as they take down the two cores.
Very aggressive move there from IG. Also Storm Spirit zipping in. And then, like, nice dodge with the illusion rune, but does not pop a mango. He had one mango to work with, I believe, and also a bottle charge. Maybe he could have gotten out of the trouble, but decided to focus on the voice line.
There's always that temptation. Space being brought for Ice though, with all the action going on mid. Starts to get the levels on the Necro book. Overall 2k lead here for IG, and Fly continues to be in a perfect spot as the Sven. And that dream scenario of getting involved in early action, cleaning up the ancient stacks. This Sven is going to get
He's going
pretty
to be
beefy.
big. Yeah, this time around, Fly, much better game, especially compared to Faceless Void in game number 2. Phoenix still struggling a bit with the levels, you know, trying to take some XP from those stacks. And the one who's also having a really good time is Underlord. Like, he's going for Road of Atos against the Storm Spirit, so Abed, he needs a BKB. Like, after he finishes that Orchid, BKB is pretty much a must-have.
See top. They're going to look to see if they can burst out Ice. Caught in the route, they can. Archie even looking to reset and get out of there at the same time. Mid Arbed goes in with the dive. Him and Crit able to collapse onto Ollie. So something in return, but again, these trades each and every time favoring that of IG, as IG keeping the stronger hold on this early game.
They're moving together as a unit, Sven being, you know, very active. He doesn't necessarily need to be involved in the kills, but he shows up. They're like, yeah, we can't really fight Sven right now. He feels super strong, has Yasha, Bracer, Mask of Madness, going into that Sanj, you know, the extra movement speed to break the link from the Razor is going to be really good.
They're going to try and catch them with the smoke, EG. As they've got to be careful, as Fly has got strength ready to pop. He can turn if they don't quite get the quick kill that they're looking for. Mid lane as well, also a hard place to fight into. JT's around. One pit laid out could set up for Arbed to get collapsed on completely by the following stuns.
And now it's Road of Atos done on Underlord. So he can keep them inside 3 points in Pit of Malice. It's just going to be so hard for EG to push the towers. Like, this pit, as you mentioned, pretty much covers the whole area of the mid lane. Abed this time around not having as good game as we've seen in the other ones. Struggling a bit. They have the counters, playing into Nyx Assassin. He's about to be level 8 compared to Emo, who's like level 10. I talked about the items, but didn't finish my sentence where, like, whenever you play against the Storm Spirit as a Void Spirit, most of the time it's just going to be Yule Scepter to be able to dispel that flag. Getting caught.
He's going to go down. We'll see if Ice Crit can get anything in return. They can. Crit rolls in, gets the connection onto Ollie. JT turns, holds back Crit. As IG will back off with their Phoenix gone. See around the mid, Kaka on the hunt. Arbed does have full HP and full mana though, so Kaka alone won't be able to do much. Maybe if Emo's able to close in on this, the two of them together can take him. As Arbed stepping up. Won't quite be able to get in. Kaka didn't quite get in range there with the Carapace whilst the Remnant exploded. So Arbed will manage to live another day.
Oh, Haste Rune just spawned top.
See Crit starting some action down bottom. Arbit's going to be in with the follow-up. They've got the control. Fly will turn with the stun, but they have the damage. Crit.
EG, they see, you know, they saw 3 heroes on a mid lane. They're like, we caught a glimpse of Sven. Let's just go and try to take him down. Because they know there's not going to be any follow-up. He's not going to get any help. Nyx Assassin, shown mid with Vendetta. Like, very nice move from EG there.
Now, the pick-off potential still incredibly strong from this Storm Spirit duo that we've seen EG run so many times with great success. Bottom lane, Fly. Trying to soak up some XP behind the tower. IG, they won't let that pass as they dive in, take him out, and will manage to claim this tier 1 for themselves. Teams get the objectives and still getting as much as they can done, even with Fly off the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
JT will be able to secure the bottom tower. Like, this Underlord is in the middle of the pack, but feels very unkillable unless they bring the numbers.
No. Going in here for Ice. Crit can't do anything to save it. Ice goes down. Did have the summons out, but Fly is going to be able to head over and start dealing with the Necro books. They'll be able to control and take down both of them. 9-4, 3K lead. IG holding onto this advantage. And no signs at the moment of EG being able to really close the gap on Fly's farm. This Sven is going to be able to stay nearly sort of an item ahead at this pace if EG can't find enough action going in their favor.
Necro 3 is done on Lycan, so they should be, you know, ready to fight, especially once Abed finishes the Orchid. There it is. They can't stop him. But the Pit of Malice, like, this is your biggest problem in this game, but, you know, besides Sven, because Underlord with a good Pit of Malice into another Road of Atos, it's just too good. Like, he's also completely nullifying the damage that comes from Lycan these fights, especially in these smaller areas where, like, you can't just pass. Arcane Rune top.
Nemo is going to commit aggressively here with the 2 steps to try and close it instead of onto Crit. Put themselves on top of the Earth Spirit, but now Arteezy is ready for the counter. Like, Hunter's going to go down. They're trying to take him out with the Rift. They're fully knows he's going to be able to take them out.
They'll get him.
He's gone. Nemo's dead as well. EG had just enough damage to bring them down before the escape was in play. Now they're chasing for more. Over to the egg. EG take down the Supernova. Triple kill for Arteezy. The grab there with the Vortex, and they drag back Fly. Take him down as well. A team wipe out of nowhere there for EG.
This was a fight, you know. Void Spirit, he goes in, he uses a Yule Scepter on himself, and yeah, just a perfect setup for Earth Spirit to use his abilities. Abed, meanwhile, picks up that Arcane Rune on the Storm Spirit. Kind of a bad egg there to try to make stuff happen, but they already lost multiple heroes. Man, I mean, EG, like, we're going to see that one again.
As you said it, you know, such an aggressive move from Emo, using pretty much all his mobility and escape to fully initiate. JT tries to bail them out. It must have been so close to completing the rift, but the damage just very well prioritized there by EG as they bring down JT's Underlord. And from that point onwards, IG, they didn't have a backup plan.
They did not. You know, they get the good jump, they get the good initiation, and as you mentioned, like Emo using all of his abilities pretty much to close the gap, then aggressive Yule Scepter, he has nothing to protect himself with anymore.
9-10, that lead that IG had closed completely there off the back of that team fight. As you can see there, all that progress that IG were building up off the back of a solid start with the lanes and with Fly's farm, it's just gone in an instant.
I want to see what Arteezy's next item is going to be. Last time when he was playing Razor, he got so much value from a Blink Dagger pickup. I believe it was against Ame's Monkey King, where he just wanted to get on top of him. And then this might be also the item build here, you know, against the Sven. Now that you have a BKB, you don't care about any of the abilities pretty much that they can throw at you. So it could be a really nice pickup.
EG, they're now in a position to go for Roche. It has been scanned out immediately by IG, and IG have the ults ready to go. They've got Supernova at the ready for this fight. Emo's trying to head in with the Invis Sentry's down. They've seen him. The silence for Quint, the pullback with the Vortex. Emo's in trouble. He'll buy some time with the Yules, but he's straight back down into the stunners. Crit catches him perfectly. JT, he's bailing them out. They'll try and bring down Ice will fall to the Firestorm. The rest of IG taken out of there. But again, IG losing the team fights, and once again, Emo, he's on the front. He's just not prepared for EG to react as quickly as they do. He feels that he's so strong with the invis. Sentry's laid down, EG know he's there, and Crit, instant setup there with the silence into the stun. There's no escape for Emo.
Oh, they just have his number this time around, because like Emo is playing so aggressive. Like they have Necrobook units, they're trying to go for Roche. You know there's gonna be Sentry there like 99% of the time. He still decides to go for that play. And he gets punished.
Definitely starting to hurt IG. After he was having a very solid start, I think pretty much 7-0-2 at the beginning. These 2 kills now back-to-back on Emo, slowing the momentum down. EG over to the side, Crit finds the catch onto Ollie.
Ollie can't catch a break this game. Like, they have so many tools to deal with him. They don't really have that, you know, high attack speed hero, but also he did not really place some good eggs this time around. Crit, he's in again.
He's able to find JT, kicks him back over to the rest of the team. EG move over. JT's gone. Another silence, another roll. Crit's in over towards Emo. The full-on snare with the vortex of Ahmed. As Emo's gone again, the tip's starting to come out. As Crit is just setting up kill after kill after kill. As you said it, they can't catch a break, IG, but they seem to consistently catch a Crit, as he's on them every single time.
Crit has just been amazing. A bit of a slower start to his Earth Spirit. Didn't manage to find any openings early on, but his rolls, his silences, like the spell casting, everything was pretty much on point. And this should be the free Roche.
No, I don't think after those last few events, IG's going to risk going over there again. As EG controlling this area perfectly. Not leaving any chance for IG to even begin to think of setting up around Roshan.
Yeah.
As Abed, he's going to have the Aegis ready for the next fight.
RTZ was thinking, do I get a Sanj? Do I get a Blink Dagger? He saw how the last fight went, decided to go for that Blink Dagger, which I really, really like. You know, being able to just jump on the Sven. Like, he's never going to feel that comfortable playing into Razor. And they've shut down Emo. Emo was having such a good time. Now he's nowhere near his second item.
He's 3 back-to-back deaths, just destroying his early game completely. One more move like that, and Emo's impact is going to fall off entirely in this game. Top lane EG at the tier 2s. See if IG want to do anything about this. You know, obviously, with the way the last few fights have gone, it's very hard for them to make that call, especially into the Aegis. In the mid, Crit, ice, and Abed.
Oh,
they're ready
not
to look
again.
for Emo, he's pushing down the lane. The silence is there from Crit, buying enough time to line up the roll. As another death. Bottom lane, Artesi's coming in with the BKB and the static link. They're looking to take him out. JT is going to be able to bring Flying Kaka back to safety. Ollie will manage to TP out, but they can't let the Void Spirit die like this. This is
No,
four times
this is
now.
4th time, exactly. Like Crit, he used the roll a bit prematurely, you know, considering if you use the Stone Remnant. So he didn't even use the Stone Remnant, still connects on the target, and you can feel that JT is afraid. While he's using Dark Rift, he needs to be able to control Void Spirit, otherwise someone might get kicked out of the range, and then you're just gonna be left there alone.
It seems very risky here. IG, they've smoked up whilst they don't have Emo, and it's into an Aegis. Maybe, I mean, it's going to be that sort of a surprising move that it will catch EG by
Oh, they're not going to catch
surprise,
anything.
But no, flies out.
Even if they caught Fly, it's still not worth it. I can understand the aggression that they wanted to do, be a bit more, you know, active, because there's no shapeshift, there was no BKB on Razor. But even, as you said, they still have Aegis on the Storm up and running for 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
It's easy back on with the push. Will manage to finish off the tier 2.
Oh, they need to talk about the items, because Lycan and Razor are going for the same item build. So he just like swapped. He bought a casual plate mail, which is also fine. He wanted to get the AC, but realized that Lycan is also going for one.
Yeah, looks to pick up the axe instead.
Casual plate mail is also fine. You know,
Yeah, against
playing
Sven.
into Sven, yeah, feels like a good item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, as you said, you just need to be able to BKB, get on top of the Sven, get the link going, and just survive through the initial physical burst that Sven will still have at the start of the link with the God Strength. You live through that, Sven's not been able to take you down. as a Razor, you're just going to be able to force the Sven to have to back off each time. And with the control that EG has, it's going to be rather difficult for FlyFly to do. Does have the BKB now, but those BKB usages have to be flawless from the Sven.
For sure. JP's Road of Atos, like, oh, another jump.
And
It's just going to be on the Next Assassin. Yeah, Next Assassin does not ever feel comfortable playing in any of the Necro 3 heroes, like a Beastmaster, Lycan, Atos. Let's see the damage.
I mean, they're trying to start something onto Arteezy. JT, he already feels the way that this fight is going. He's starting to rift them out. Godstrick has been committed, though, by FlyFly. A bit of an awkward move there. As you can see very early on that JT had no inclination of sticking around for the fight.
If they get a stun on Razor, I think they commit instead of getting back, because they could potentially just bring down Razor low enough to kill him with Sven's God Strength. Sven, no blink.
And he still wants to go, still wants to make something happen with this God Strength. He's stepping up, but he's been silenced. Armin's getting towards the backline. The BKB comes up, but Arteezy, he's in with the static link. Sven's got to step away. FlyFly's losing all of his damage. Freezing field for the high ground from Fly. Emo's got to run. JT's going to get chased out by Arteezy. Crits in again with the roll. Closes the gap on JT as JT's gone.
Oh, that was not a good Pit of Malice. If we're going to see that again, Razor, he managed to walk around the Pit of Malice. Like, good moves from Arteezy there. Gets the static link off, and also he did not block that passage. Like, check the Pit of Malice. Like, it was a bit more aggressive, good jump from the Storm Spirit, and the Razor just goes around, manages to get out and follow them.
Yeah, it stays on FlyFly for more than long enough to force FlyFly to have to run. No chance of taking the fight anymore when FlyFly has lost, I think, at least 120 damage there to the link. 4K lead now for EG. FlyFly's farm still in a good place, but with these last few fights, Arteezy's just caught up completely on his Razor.
He's going into Aghanim Scepter, which is also okay. Was thinking about Sanj, a bit of a status resistance, maybe transition that into Heaven's Halberd against the Sven, which would also be fine. But getting Aghanim Scepter gives them a bit more like push potential, and then you can deal with the 2 targets. I don't know why, like, in the description it says when striking buildings, it will only target towers, barracks, and the Ancient. Like, those buildings, they're actually called just buildings inside the base, are not affected. Like, it would be too powerful if you could actually go for that.
You're not wrong. That's, you know, you've got to balance in all things.
I like how that's still called a building. Couldn't think of anything different.
I mean, Dota's a very creative game. You know, there's going to be limits to the creativeness. Building, indeed. Maybe we'll see it get a name change in the new update. So here we have it, bottom lane. Tier 2, getting pressured by Ice. And again, this is just, you can't do anything. You can't do anything here if you're IG. You can't turn up to these pushes from EG right now. You've got to try and look to get the trades going, and they'll take the tier 1 top, IG.
Crit has a BKB. Urn of Shadows, BKB.
Massive.
Yeah. Lycan units trying to push on the bottom lane. They also have a siege creep. But they know something is up. Like EG, they have a good read. IG smoked on a completely different side of the map.
It's going to take them quite a while to get over it. But they're heading in the right direction. See if they can get a jump. But you say EG's going to feel that something's coming over. EG, they're going to be prepared. They're holding close to one another on the high ground. Do IG really want to try and fight into this?
EG, they have vision on the high ground. They're scouting things out. They're sure that there are no wards from the enemy team with the Necros, and now they're going to start pushing in some damage, forcing a glyph from IG. Next Roche may respawn in 30 seconds.
Around the next objective they'll look for, Arteezy will have the full Aghanims. So as well, they lose a curry in the river, but that pretty much gives up the whole move of IG. As IG will have to get back to showing themselves in the mid lane. Really just prepare for the high ground defense. Fighting EG outside of the base has ended terribly the last few times that IG's tried to go for it. Mid lane. The opening here onto
That's a good
Arteezy.
jump.
The chain stone's coming out. Arbet jumps in the back line, but Arteezy's going to get blown off. as he's taken down 100 to 0. Now with the God Strike, Firefly turns up towards Crit. Crit's escape is going to be blocked off. IG able to find that opening, as Arteezy wasn't quite ready for that opening stun.
No, I mean, if he pops a BKB there, not sure if Blink Dagger was ready, but he needs to be careful. They have so many stuns, like stun from Sven, stun from Next Assassin. Let's see the Roche respawn, minute and 5 seconds, so Arteezy will be out, but need to be a bit more careful.
Standing in just a little bit too close to the base, and not quite prepared. Didn't know that IG was all up there, and the pace had kind of slowed down. Things had started to calm off a little bit, so Arteezy just getting a bit of a rude awakening there from that jump of IG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let's see what IG can do with this. 15 seconds though until Arteezy's back up, so not too long whatsoever. And IG will respect that as soon as the respawn comes in. And keep themselves to their half of the map.
Damage coming out from the Sven is still super high. He also find a really good neutral item, like Spider Legs. That's gonna give you move speed, ability to go over the cliffs. So, like that static link is not gonna be that great. He has a lot of movement speed from the Warcry, Mask of Madness, S and Y might be able to just blink and break it.
Abed closing in onto Emo. The follow-up silence there for Crit. They grab him back with the Vortex. Emo's gone. And we're seeing it every single game, really, when Ice is on these Beastmasters, he's on these Lycans, the Micro, the Vision game that
He
is
gets
able to
Phoenix
provide.
as well.
And Arteezy, he's dealing with JT. He's on him with the Sally Link. JT looking to get out here with the Rift, and they got the damage. They do. JT's not getting home tonight.
Crit understands, like, we have enough damage to bring him down. Rolls onto the Phoenix, almost gets like a solo kill until Sven shows up. Buyback from Nyx Assassin.
Otherwise, they're going to start losing the base. Arteezy stepping up to the high ground. And with the push of Ice's army, the tier 3's gone. IG, what can they do to slow this? Ice popping the ult, in fact, ready to look to maybe even pressure a dive. They'll force out another buyback from IG as Emo.
That's a big one.
Looking for the setup. BKB is available from Abed. He's going to pop it immediately. Turn over one Firefly. He's brought in the Sven. Firefly's going to put the BKB and run. The Supernova's out. EG steps to the side, keep their distance, wait for the ult to finish.
This is so big from EG. They just forced them to use 2 buybacks. They got the tower, and they also forced the egg plus the BKB from Sven. Roshan is up. They could go in. Like, they have enough damage. Necrobook is available. There's also AC on Lycan right now. So much minus armor coming out. They just have enough. Arteezy finishing off the Aghanim Scepter as well. He also found the Spider Legs, so it's going to have a bit easier time chasing Sven with that static link.
This is spotted out. It's Aegis and Cheese. IG, they don't want to let this get away. As they're coming in with the smoke, they have got strength, no Supernova, no Rift either, so JT won't be able to bail them out if the fight goes wrong.
No BKB for 20 as well on Sven. EG, they go back. They're holding the high ground. They know that they are aware of this. Look at Crit positioning.
Crit trying to dispel any sort of smoke movement that IG attempt from the low ground, but IG very hesitant about making moves into this triangle. Ollie. Get the ward down. At the vision advantage, they're going to try and jump Emo. He's going to look to commit straight away to Ahmed. Crit. He's able to land the 3-man silence, pushes the back. IG, they've got a split. As they'll jump forward from Ahmed, they're looking towards Firefly, trying to keep out the rest of the BKB. Firefly, he'll make it out of there. JT trying to bail the rest of the map, but Emo's dead. Out for 90. Ollie's trying to TP away, but Crit's in with the stun, stops the TP escape. As
Man,
EG, they
Crit,
kill the 2 of them.
what a performance by him. You know, holding there, they've split the Necrobook units if they want to enter from this or the other side, and then he lands a 3-man silence. A good link from Arteezy. The reason why he bought a Blink Dagger. Yeah, we're going to see that one again.
I mean, the jump there, but Crit, he keeps his cool, he heads over, boom. Suddenly 3-man silence, they have to split. Kaka and JT can't offer anything at the start of it, as Crit's pressure just splits IG apart and allows EG to clean them up one by one. JT very lucky to get away with his life because Emo and Ollie left behind. EG's got the space to move in. Aegis on Arteezy and Cheese on Abed, ready for the next fight.
And they swap things around a little bit. They still show that, you know, Razor. I like that because Razor will be the one possibly going in a bit more aggressive, sieging the high ground with the Eye of the Storm, especially with the Aghanim Scepter. So they give him that instead, which I really, really like.
And here comes the push with the Aghanims. Arteezy using the lightning to break down the barracks. 20 seconds until Emo's up. As the react's falling incredibly fast as well with the AC help. Coming in, I've got the fortification. slow him down a little bit. Artie's is getting back in there now, but he's looking for the jump. Is it straight away on Kaka with the silence? Lotus Orb will protect Kaka. Artie's, he nearly killed
Good
himself.
fourth
The
tap.
plasma field zip back in. They're on top of Kaka. Kaka's out for 70. No buyback on the Knicks.
They do not want to lose this Aegis yet, because they just picked it up.
Yeah, they're instantly out of there. Side's popping the ult to break away from IG. As IG won't be able to punish EG at all there for that push.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They're still going to have cheese. They're still going to have Aegis for the next fight. Well, maybe they use the cheese. Who's holding the cheese? They don't have the cheese.
They had it on our bed before the
Okay,
fight.
he popped it.
Okay. 24 to 13, 10k lead. Again, this third game, once more, IG just finding themselves in a position that... I don't know, how do they get themselves out of this?
They're just crumbling. Like, the decision-making after a couple of deaths on Emo, he died for like 4 times in a row. Now trying... Wolves, they're scouting them out.
Here we go, jumping from Artis, he's on to Fly, popping the BKB. He's got to run. He's got to get out of it with the static link, stealing that damage over to the side. Chris there with a follow-up, close the gap onto Emo. Emo's gone with no buyback for a minute, and Artis is ready to head back up to the high ground and into the base. No creep wave at the moment, though.
This is also the perfect item for Arteezy. You know, you get stuck on a cliff, just use the spider legs, can easily get off of it. And this allows him to just chase the Sven. It also allows him to not have boots of speed in his inventory, just keeping that plate mail. Like, if he gets the first jump on Sven, if they don't stun lock him, Arteezy's good to go. And Fly will need to bail.
Just each and every time having to use those BKBs to survive and run. Making it increasingly harder for IG to just set up a scenario where they can pop BKB God Strength and get the jump themselves, with EG's aggression just beating IG at it every single time. EG playing far too fast for IG to keep up with once again.
Bloodstone, Orchid on Storm Spirit, level 20. He also went for the Electric Vortex duration talent. Like, this Crystal Maiden Aura really helping out how much farm Abed can get. And now going into Aghanim Scepter, which I really like. He also, you know, just prefers to get that item as, like, sometimes third, sometimes fourth, but really works well. Kind of like a budget black hole.
IG just having to sit back and wait now.
Lotus Orb is done on Underlord, but he needs to, like, precast it on Sven before Sven gets a good jump.
Emo, he's got to be very careful how he jumps out of the base like this. You know that EG, if they feel the time is right, they'll be straight on top of him.
Are scanning.
See how they can start things. Arteezy, it's another fly, they get the drag back. They do turn with the stun onto the two of them, and they bring down Arbed. Arbed will go down, Arteezy as well, getting tired. Arteezy's gone the once. He's got the Aegis, he's going to be back for a second round, but the Supernova is going to be successful. EG trying to get back in to help him out, but the Supernova goes off. They've all been stunned. IG down to turn, focus down Arteezy. Arteezy getting brought down. Arteezy's dead. IG finding number for the Magnetize. Crit trying to do his best to rectify the fight, keeping the Magnetize going, but the Spike Carapace trips up Crit. IG turn, they take him down as well.
Yeah, this is the fight that IG needed. You know, they go in, Fly gets a good ulti off. Like, if he does not get static linked, or if the static link is like 100 damage, you're still gonna feel those right clicks coming out from Sven, almost 600 damage on him, getting him closer to like level 25, even more damage, and getting him closer to the Swift Blink. Then he's gonna have unlocked movement speed, will be able to bring that, break that link.
Almost just the initiation this time around, just a little too aggressive from EG. They both commit in onto Fly, but JT, perfect Lotus, lays it down onto Fly, causing Arbed to pull himself in with the Vortex. And with Arbed gone, things start to fall apart very quickly. Perfect use of the Supernova to guarantee that stun on Arteezy's revival from the Aegis.
Yeah, that was such a clutch move as well on top of that. And Lotus Orb, like, this is the best item pretty much that they can get against the Sven. Sorry, against the Razor. Also, he decided to get a Lotus Orb for himself on Razor. Interesting. There aren't too many, like, things to dispel. There is a silence from the Void Spirit. Sven does not have, you know, that Aghanim Scepter, so he's not following you, which is a really good item to counter it. I guess he just wants to have something against the Pit of Malice to be able to move around freely.
But he's already got the BKB.
Maybe he was thinking, you know, I'm running out of slots. I bought that casual plate mail. What do I turn this into?
Sure, I think that's almost certainly it. And it is something that does mean when he commits onto Flyfly, if he doesn't want to use the BKB straight away, suddenly Flyfly can't hold him back with the stun, because it's just only going to cause Flyfly to stun himself. Well, Flyfly does also have a BKB, but we'll see. Definitely didn't do too much for him in that last situation. Minotaur Horn also on Flyfly, as he's getting tankier and tankier, and a big bit of that lead shut down there off the back of that last defense from IG, showing that they've still got a good punch ready to come out with.
They still have to respect the damage coming out from Sven, because it's insane. Especially if they get a Lotus Orb on him, then you're not gonna feel like the static link. Crit still deals a ton of damage in the team fights. They also gave him Spell Prism to lower the cooldown on his abilities. More rolls, more silences, and the lower cooldown on a BKB plus a Spirit Vessel. Next Roche may respawn in a minute and 30. Emo holding a gem. Oli picked that one up.
See if they can get the jump out. It's easy. Just showing at the moment in the mid. Kaka tries to get him with a spike carapace setup. Will open up with the stun. IG. Let's see if they can commit onto him. Martizi's going to be able to easily get the BKB off. IG, they'll start to back off. Ice, and Arbed, they won't chase. So IG succeeding in getting the BKB charge down on Arteezy. And now they want to fight. Now that they know the BKB is on cooldown, they could go for a big move. They're going to come in with the Rift over towards the bottom lane. Ice, he's heading over to clean it up, but he's going to have a nasty surprise here as IG turn up. Ice has instant reactions, though. As soon as he sees the team, BKB and a TP out, Ice is fine.
Sven even popped the ulti. Maybe he thought, you know, with 1 or 2 crits from Daedalus, I will have enough damage to bring him down. But Lycan is super tanky, especially with the AC, and realizes they have nothing that goes through magic immunity, so I'm just going to TP out.
Still about 2k away from the Aghanims on Arbed. It's going to make a big difference in these fights. Trying to play around all the counter plays that IG have going for themselves. See, Flyfly did finish off the Swift Blink, so a big step up to his damage output. So if he's able to close the gap, get that initiation with the God Strength, this Sven is going to hit incredibly hard.
Storm, he found Timeless Relic for himself. That's going to be a great item, especially once he picks up that Aghanim Scepter. He's getting very close, double damage in the bottle. Next Roche, minute and 30.
And we see as well with the timing, Flyfly gets himself, gets 2 tomes actually sent out that were available still. So that's pushed him up just half a level away from the level 25 now, Sven.
Stacking the tomes, new strat.
Yeah, hit them with so that surprise XP jump at the end. In terms of 25s for EG, still a little away from them.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Zarteezy, very close to having his next item done. In fact, he's got it here, I believe.
Emo has a 10-second BKB. They need to be careful about this, because he did not use it yet. Invis.
Well, the Stormcraft has actually kind of given it away.
Oh yeah, I just forgot about that item. You know, it's one item that has a good dispel mechanic, but doesn't feel like it has a lot of synergy. You know, who's gonna bring that? Do you want to have that on a spellcaster? Do you want to have that on someone who deals the damage? Mana Regen is nice though.
And we're holding it like they were just then. I mean, the EG are fully aware of where IG is sneaking around. Stormcraft are proccing against the wolves and the creeps. EG, they're going to try and fight this. They're going to lift the jump. RTG straight in away, but he's been caught up with the spike carapace. Carcass able to catch him as he jumps in. Supernova's out. BKB will manage to come out from
Kill that egg.
They turn, take down the egg, jump towards the back line. They're on top of Flyfly trying to run with the Minotaur Horn. He's going to stand his ground past the God Strength. He turns, he takes down Arbed. Crit falling low as well. The Remnant won't quite grab him. Crit still alive. Kicks back Emo. Emo turns over towards him. Yule set up onto Crit. Crit will go down.
Like, they thought Sven's not gonna turn, but he also didn't have 25 there yet, but that you can see the damage. Like, with the Swift Blink, unlocks the max movement speed, just completely turns around with the God Strength, gets 2 hits, and they're all like half HP or almost gone. Storm Spirit, you know, he does not have a defensive item for himself other than the Black King bar, so that's a bit problematic. They also need to respect still the damage coming out from Sven.
We see as well, they did force out a couple of buybacks from IG, so IG putting a bit more money into that fight. At the same time, Crit comes out with his as EG. They don't want to let IG get the chance to get into Roche using those buybacks. As we see in the fight again, just good pick off, good way to start things. But Fly just holding his ground, knowing that he would have the damage to turn and take down the two of them.
Roche is alive. Aegis, Cheese, and Aghanim Scepter.
And who's eyeing up that Ags? I mean, I guess, you know, Abed would love to have to not buy his own, because he's still yet to buy into it.
And they can give it to him. They could also give it to Earth Spirit. I wouldn't mind seeing Earth Spirit with it, if they get it. But on the other side, Emo already has one. I think you just give it to Sven, if they are the ones who can pick it up. Like that transportation, the Superman mode, unlock. Oh, he also he also built the Lincoln Sphere, which I really like, you know. A Lotus Orb and the Lincoln Sphere against the Razor. It's a 9k gold lead for EG, but at the moment, like, you can't really feel that they're missing that amount of gold. It doesn't really matter.
No, if they can't jump Fly and deal with him at the start of the fight, Fly is just going to cause a whole lot of issues as the fight draws on. If he can get that BKB and God Strength off without the threat of being static linked by Arteezy. Around this area, lost fight here. I mean, a lost Aegis, Cheese, and Aghanims. Abed actually spending up the money. Will invest in the Aghanims for himself. So we'll have that good to go for the next fight.
They don't have too many abilities that they can, like, pierce this Lincoln Sphere with. They might use a Frostbite. I don't think you want to use the Force Staff from the Crystal Maiden. You want to save that for defensive purposes. They lost a gem. This is also the big part. You know, now IG, they're holding 2 gems. They still have Necro units to devord any possible wards. A big item on Razor, he got that Butterfly. Sven does not have a True Strike.
Well, let's be cautious about Emo. Level 25, Hex stun. That's a lot of lockdown between the Hex and the Dissimilate stun. If EG don't get their BKBs off in time, there will be more than enough chain stun to hold Arteezy in place to allow Fly to get the kill.
And
Even
the BKBs are down to 5 seconds. He
jumps
jumps in.
But instant reaction there with the Hex as they come in. Commits with the BKB, gets the signs down with the 2 of them. The Supernova's out, but Ahmed, he's down. The damage is done by Fly. Over towards Crit they goes. The BKB comes to an end. Spike coverage for Kaka, catches Crit. Crit goes down as well.
That jump, you know, they go in, but they get caught. There's so much control coming up from the Void Spirit. You have the Hex, you have that AoE silence. The Simulate also stuns, level 25 talent. Now they can go inside the pit. Crit already bought back in the previous fight, so he's not going to have it. Storm Spirit invested all of his gold into that new shiny Aghanim Scepter. I don't think they have enough to deal with that super farmed Sven right now, and also Emo. Like, he managed to make a comeback after getting caught multiple times in a row. Like, he's super strong right now.
He really did. The impact he can have at this point with that much lockdown around these low duration BKBs is just pretty much unmatched from EG. Anytime IG get the jump and have the better time.
Oh, it's Nyx Assassin who picks up the Ags. So he wants to burrow himself.
Just something else in these team fights that's going to make it pretty much impossible for EG to keep the fight going when the BKBs end. He'll have such an easy time just throwing out his abilities from a distance. So IG ready to push up to the high ground their time, as they're now holding the 5k lead. EG letting that strong mid game that they had really slip away now, as IG, they're back in charge with how large Fly is.
Like Wolves and Necro units, like, you need to keep that away from Sven. He pretty much one-shots it. Also, you need to keep it away from Pit of Malice. This lineup will start to fall off. You know, you have a Razor, he deals the damage, but they have the tools to deal with him right now. There is a Lincoln Sphere, there is a Lotus Orb.
And Arteezy, what's he doing? He's on the front. Arteezy's dead. He's got no buyback. Arteezy dead for 100, 350 gold short from buyback. And the crit's gone as well. His buyback on cooldown. I mean, they're just sitting on the high ground, having a look out, and suddenly IG, they're on top of him. He's gone. IG's gonna have all the space in the world to take so much here from the base of EG.
Yeah, that's a minute and 20 seconds without... Oh my god, they can't pick up any
that
bounty
might be
runes.
If IG realizes
They
that there's no
probably
buyback.
think, you know, he has it, but we'll poke. We'll see what happens.
I mean, and they're poking pretty hard here with Fly. They're being cautious, though. They're looking towards the racks instead, already with the jump. Straight up towards the fountain. Emo's looking to get more kills here. Fly will live. As he gets away, actually, Emo losing his shard there because of that dive. We have Ice trying for the split mid. He does have creeps pushing in with him, Ice. So Ice might just be enough to stop EG from losing anything more than the mid and the top racks.
He's being very cautious about what's happening. He has the Wolves, Necro available, but they might go for the Megas.
Yeah, they're sticking
30
around.
seconds without Arteezy.
They know now that Arteezy has not got the gold to get back in. Still 100 gold short on the Razor. It's EG, they're trying to start, so they've got to be careful. Kaka with the burrow, he's able to try and get the setup onto Fly, forces back to safety. JT actually going to look to take them out here as Arbeck comes in. They look for the jump onto JT, but JT gets them all out.
Yeah, that's a level 3 ulti for second teleport delay. Oh, at least they did not get the Mega Creep, so they still have possibly one more fight. Arteezy definitely needs to farm up his buyback. He's going to have it in the 400 gold. Double damage spawned on top. There's still Aegis for almost full 2 minutes. IG, they want to take another fight.
They still know how strong of a position they're in right now off the back of those last few moves. 11k lead, IG just playing this late game perfectly, and EG starting to make some mistakes.
This could be the big one. You know, Storm Spirit hitting level 25. He has that Electric Rave as well on top of the Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if anyone bought the Tome or was it him, but they might need this. Like, it's a ton of damage.
It's so much damage. No, it really is. 2 times overload attack bounce on your whole team. As long as they can live to get their hits off, and the BKBs are down on IG, can't underestimate how much magical burst that will be at this stage of the game. Fly is just ever so tanky. 4.4k gold as he's ready to start building towards his next item. He's 10k ahead of that of the farm of Arteezy right now.
They still have that Aegis. They have gems, so they can get rid of any kind of vision. They also have cheese on Void Spirit.
See IG, they're looking for the jump. See if they want to make it. Won't go in blind. They do actually get the jump though onto Arbed. Emo's in. They get themselves over on towards the Storms, but Arbed's able to get the BKB off, but he can't zip away in time. Arbed down for 90 seconds without the goal for buyback. EG, they're going to try and commit. Arteezy's in with the BKB, forcing them back. JT's ready to rip the team out. Knows the rip. Is it going to take them away? It is, but Emo
Oh, they
and
forgot.
Kaka actually
They
left
forgot
behind.
Nyx.
They kind of split up. Ice will live on just a slither of health as he's able to run away. Emo still fighting back against Crit. Kaka remaining burrowed, causing some issues here for EG as they'll slowly but surely bring him down. Emo trying to finish off Crit, but the backup's there. Arteezy jumps across.
Aegis gone in a second. They did not time it. Oh, that would be so big.
And as it is, Emo's just going to get a free reset. As time's been bought for the rest of IG to get back over. And now still 50 seconds without Arbed. IG, they'll still play it careful, not wanting to push in with Kaka dead.
I'm surprised that JT decided to just bail them out completely. I think like they can go for this kind of a play with Sven focusing the barracks and then bailing. They also need to be careful about the force staff so that someone does not get caught inside of the base without getting back. Oh, we can see that. Like Razor, he's also level 25, extra attack speed. It's just a lot of damage. You know, a lot of damage. He might not be able to get the static link off the Sven anymore unless they proc his Lincoln Sphere, so might just go for a different target.
See it again here. She said, what do you reckon the time it was on that Aegis? Were you keeping track of it? It was
yeah, I was keeping
literally
track. It was
4 seconds apparently. So close to making such a big play, but they couldn't quite control how quickly they took down Emo. So Emo able to get away with sticking around, and
it was like
fighting
3-0-1, you know, but once it needs to kick in, so it was very close.
EG attempting to hit out with a smoke here. As we can see there with the Aghanims, JT's going to have an even easier time of quickly taking his team out if he feels that the fight is going the wrong way.
EG will love to farm up buybacks on especially on the Storm Spirit. Like
They need these
Lycan
buybacks.
doesn't matter that much, especially if he uses the form already. But they need this buyback on the Storm Spirit, and they would also love to get that level 25.
29-24. IG still with the 12k lead as Fly getting close to the money to be able to slot something out and get his Abyssal Blade in. And still have buyback gold available pretty much. It's incredibly rich. Emo going for the refresher, and of course with that shard, that extra reach of the to simulate that he'll have means that, as you can see, just the area of coverage that he can
It's
get
so
in and under
huge.
you and get that 2.5 second stun off, it makes it so hard to choose the right time to start retreating, as he'll always be able to chase you with that much range.
Dark Rift, Aghanim Scepter upgraded by Underlord, so that means 1 second less delay.
Oh, look at the jump. Arteezy is keeping in. But they're in. They've got the Hex. They've got the Dissimulate stun. Arteezy in trouble. He's getting taken out. Gets the BKB off.
Oh,
Around
the face.
Arteezy will be able to keep himself
Spider
alive.
legs.
Ice moves over the back. Nice takes down Ollie. But the Rod's there. They control Ice. They bring him down. The Lycan falls. Somehow, though, EG able to keep Arteezy alive. Nearly ending in another disaster there, as Arteezy still does not have the buyback gold. Big zip in from Buyback, gets the ball, takes chance to them. Arteezy moving in, they've got the link down on the fly. Keep
Taxi.
themselves over the line still. Can they take him out in time? They can! The Rift gets fly out of there. It's Arteezy. He's low. Emo's backing up.
He's gonna
Arteezy's
drop.
dead. Emo's able to just walk back up to him, and now with the Hex, Emo's able to set him on to crit. The Hex into the stun. A question
Question mark in the
Ooh.
old chat. All right,
my
I love that.
goodness.
GG is called. He was
there
just
we go.
standing there. All right.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, spicing it up a little bit. As, oh my goodness.
That was so close. They managed to get out. Void Spirit still stays in. They get the kill on Abid. Unfortunately for EG, they did not have buybacks on any of the 3 cores.
What a game 3.
Whew.
What a game 3. It ain't over.